So once again, the theme song is slightly remixed, and we're still not at my favorite remix. This is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Okay. So, after, what, 6 years, Michael Myers is back. This came out in 1987. So it's 5 years after Halloween 3. I forgot to mention something before about Halloween 3. We all know the tagline for the first one. Halloween, the night he came home. Halloween 2, more of the night he came home. Halloween 3, the night nobody came home. Which is kind of true. Anyway. So, okay. Right off the bat, in my notes, this film, it does a whole lot of firsts for the franchise. The first entry to star Danielle Harris. The first entry to take place after Halloween 2. The first entry to kill off Laurie Strode. The first entry to feature George P. Wilbur as Michael. The first entry where that mask changes. The first entry where Michael just eats an entire firing squad. Whole bunch of firsts here. Let's talk about Michael himself. George P. Wilbur. Freaking hilarious in this. Like, that mask is so hilarious, man. Like, this is when he started to change, like I mentioned earlier. But weirdly enough, the actual mask is still on the cover of the movie. That's not the mask you get. You get a funny looking mask. That paired up with George P. Wilbur, who looks kind of awkward as Michael, not really scary. You know, he could have been. It did some stuff it could have been, but I was too busy to laugh at it. Like, that mask is accidentally expressive. When Family Guy dedicates, like, an entire plot point to one of their episodes to this movie, to this portrayal of Michael, well, that's how you know it's hilarious. Oh, my goodness. And Michael also wears, like, it started to change it because the legal troubles, right? So this is where we began to experiment with it. This isn't even the movie where they did that the most, but this is the most noticeable. Because in one scene towards the end, Michael all of a sudden has a pink mask with white hair. And then it's back to the other mask. Which is just so hilarious. But, like, you know, the scene where he's holding, you know, the iconic picture with him just holding a knife over the window. That's so funny. There's a lot of stuff like that. Just because the way the mask is, like, towards the end, somebody's punching him. And it's almost as if the mask is going, "Oh, you sad, bro? You sad? Are you sad because we hit like a bitch? Or are you sad because I'm crushing your skull?" Fine. Oh. And this is where Michael is still superhuman. Not where he first, he still is. Because I still believe it's Halloween 2 where he's superhuman. This is where he's like full on. As I said, he ate an entire firing squad. So, and things can only get weirder in this one. Alright, so I know that for some reason people hate Rachel in this movie and the next movie. I never did, but I'm rewatching it. I guess I see why. Because at first he's kind of total ass to Jamie Lloyd for no reason. But we're not really sisters, you know. Unless he's complaining and all. It's just like, I'm the oldest of 6. I have full siblings, half siblings, and a step sibling. And even though our parents are together, that's still my brother. So I don't know. Is that why people don't like her? Cause I can see why, I guess. But again, he sort of changes towards the end. So I don't. If anything, it's her friend. That's what I didn't like. It's like with Kyle. It's not like Kyle and Andy from Child's Play 2, where almost instantly Kyle's like a sister to him. If only because Andy's in this situation, and she just kind of has to assume the role. it was still ongoing, I think. Even in Cult of Chucky, Kyle comes back. Spoilers. Watch all the way through the end credits. It's just crazy, like that movie. Alright, this one. Okay, so this one is Loomis, as I remember, because I would watch 4 and 5 all the time as a kid. So this is the Loomis I remember with the yelling and the shouting, Michael! And this one has my absolute favorite Loomis line. It's a forgotten one. We can quote, "He is purely and simply evil," or, "Yes, as a matter of fact, was." All that, but this one, I loved. I wrote the whole thing down verbatim. So here we go. This is in the diner scene where he sees Michael for the first time. And he goes, "Michael, why now? You waited 10 years. I knew this day would come. Don't go to Haddonfield. If you want another victim, take me. But leave those people in peace. Please." Michael! Goddamn you. And he starts shooting. I always loved that one. So in this one, yeah, Loomis is full on obsessed with Michael. I know he said so before, but this is a red flag he is. To the point where he nearly shot 3 people for dressing like Michael. He almost shot Jamie Lloyd for that ending, which I'll get to. Like, he full on wants to stop Michael. And by the way, Donald Pleasance is 70 in this, which means he'd be 100 today. That's crazy. Before we get to the ending, the plot of this movie follows Jamie Lloyd, Danielle Harris, the daughter of Laurie Strode. Michael wakes up after, I guess, being in a coma after Halloween 2 and wants to find and kill Jamie Lloyd because Laurie Strode died in a car accident. So that's the basic plot of this thing. He's trying to find her and all that. But the ending. So throughout this movie, Danielle Harris is wearing that clown suit, like from the first movie where Kid Michael's wearing in the beginning. And that comes into play at the end, where, I don't know, she's possessed by Michael, starts stabbing Rachel and Loomis. Like these screens right here. This is why we're sometimes scared of Loomis. That in the shooting, like he just looks at her covered in blood. She walks out to the stairway. He goes, "No, no, no!" and tries to shoot her. Like, I don't, so did Michael possess her? Or could she be beyond superhuman at this point? I don't know. But yeah, no, this one is surprisingly better than I remember. Still has lots of problems. Most of those familiar with Michael. Just too busy laughing to really be scared. Oh, George P. Wilbur comes back and we'll talk about that. I will give this, let's see, because part 5 is much, much worse. Okay, well, yeah, that's it. I mean, when I watch these binging all the franchise, I mean, yeah, I have to watch 4 and 5 to go together like 1 and 2. But not, I wouldn't watch it every time, though. Anyway, that's it.